This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hi, I'm Doug Jardine, and I'm the Extension Row Crops Pathologist for K-State Research and Extension. And this week we've been out around the state doing soybean meetings. And my part of the program, as you might guess, is that I'm covering diseases of soybeans. This year there's 4 areas that I've been trying to emphasize with the producers. The first is soybean cyst nematode. It is a very widespread disease in the state, and nationwide it is the #1 cause of yield loss in soybeans. So we've been reviewing with producers how they can go about managing it. There are resistant varieties out there, but we know that they're not all created equal. And so we've been given some tips how they can combine rotation of the varieties as well as rotation of the crops to manage the nematode. There are also some new nematicides out there that are applied as seed treatments. And so we've been talking to the growers a little bit about them and how effective they are and how they might incorporate those into their management program. We've also been talking about seed treatments in general. Again, seed treatments can include fungicides to control seedling diseases, as well as insecticides and nematicides, and then some growth regulators. And of course, I've been emphasizing the fungicide and nematicide part of those seed treatment materials. We've been sharing with growers that historically in Kansas, when we use a seed treatment, on a long-term average, we can expect about a 2.5 bushel yield increase, and so that they in fact are a very good return on investment. We also talk about the fact that certain fungicides are very specific to the seedling diseases that they control, and so that when they're looking for products, they need to use products that have 2 or 3 different modes of action in them so they can get a broader spectrum of disease control. Then we've been talking about sudden death syndrome, which is a disease that is relatively recent in Kansas. It dates back to the late 1990s, but every year it seems to increase in its severity. It's associated with soybean cyst nematode. There's kind of a mutual arrangement between the 2 diseases, and there is a new product out there that we've been discussing with them, and when and where they might want to use the product, also what they can do as far as variety selection to manage the disease. And then the last part of the program, we've been talking about how to make a profitable fungicide application. A few years ago, when soybean prices went through the roof, there was a huge increase in the amount of fungicide application being used. Whether it was needed or not was sometimes the question. And so we've been reviewing with the growers when they should be interested in using a fungicide, what fungicides they might use, what diseases are most applicable for being controlled by a fungicide, and then when is the best time to put those products on. And we kind of finished up the discussion with at least one of the diseases and one mode of action of the products. We can get some fungicide resistance development, and so we just talked briefly about how they can manage their spray program to try and keep that from happening.